Welcome to this week's episode, where I am learning building a van happens all at once. I excitedly start with my horizontal furring strips, when I realize additional steps might be needed before I can complete my vertical strips. I am happy to be building my van and even happier with the progress in this video. We are going to be working on the furring strips of my van, because I need insulation. I cannot do this any longer being in Florida without insulation in this van. I just got a bunch of stuff in from Amazon. I've got M8 bolts, M8 hex rivets, number 10 flat washers, number 10 32 1¼ inch screws, 1032 rivets to fit into the smaller holes in the van. Of the many things I've purchased for this build, I purchased this in order to use the Rivet Nuts. And I purchased this one because it came with specifically the M8 and the 1032s. A lot of the packs don't come with that. This came with a bunch of sizes, but I needed a bunch more. Not even gonna bother touching these. The whole point is to have this open as much as you can. Screw this on tightly as you can. Make sure it's good. Close the handles to deform the nut. Here we go. Oh, come on, Betty. Oh, whoa. This is what's gonna hold the metal in place and hold the piece of wood here and all of my furring strips. Neato. Screw this counterclockwise. Oh my God. I love when things are easier than I thought they were gonna be. Let's do it. I'm gonna start with one. Number one. This is so exciting. I went through and I just figured out exactly where I wanted everything to be laid out. Okay, I've got it screwed on pretty tight. Yeah, it's go time. I'm nervous. Okay, it's on. Oh God, it's not coming out. Got all this wood on the floor. Should probably be wearing shoes. All right, you really gotta put your life and soul into it. I have to be on my tippy toes. Okay, cool. Counterclockwise is how the way you're supposed to spin it. Oh my God, everybody makes it seem hard, but it's not. Sorry. Number one. Number two, open, screw. I know we went over everything that I purchased for this build that I'm doing, so everything's gonna be linked down below. I went ahead and joined the Amazon Associates program. You don't have to buy it from there, but at least you'll have a link to the exact thing I used. Squeezing, cracking collarbones. Number two. All right, we're gonna hit up number 3 and number 4. You can see up here, and up here. Those I have to drill through. From what I've seen, you can put a drill in here, but that's just one more thing I have to bend down for. Number 5. Number 6. That is 16 done probably in less than 20 minutes. Let me just verify that these fit well. 1032s, baby! Sometimes I get a little worried that I don't buy the right things. So that was the first time I tested that hole. Okay, here we go. Oh man, this one's tight. Come on, little dude. Okay, how am I gonna do this? This one's a tough cookie. I mean, it seems like this one doesn't go all the way in, like clench all the way in like the others, or like the M8s. Yeah, I mean, that's in there. I guess with the 1032s, you don't have to clench down as hard. That is news to me. 1x3s for the furring strips. I just got the cheap stuff. I ordered 15. 22, 23, 24. Yeah, the process is the same with the 1032s as the M8s. And for the M8s, I use them only in the hex screws, and for the 1032s, I'm using in the small holes. Now, I've seen a couple different people. Stand by. Oh, fudge. I've seen a couple different people with a ProMaster do this method. My ProMaster is a 2021, and I seem to have different holes than other people on the internet. Now oh, I don't like the sound of that. Let's see what that did. I mean, it's really on there, but so is this one. Someone in the comments can tell me what I'm doing wrong. So for the 1032s, I seem to be using those, from what I can tell, all at the bottom and on the roof. My roof definitely looks different than other ProMaster roofs. I don't know why. Maybe it's the model. I have a 2500 159 wheelbase, and I've seen a lot of people with the same model, but it just looks different. So come take a look. Okay, so just for a little close-up, I'm going into this hole. I've seen people have hex holes on their roof, or that the hex would fit here, but that was not the case for me. Or they were using the bigger, larger holes, and theirs were going vertically. Mine go horizontal, so I'm not sure. And I'm going to use this one, 1032, 1032. And when I was marking all my holes, I would put the number and what type of rivet was going to go in. So number 3 of all the 10s, number 4, and number 5. Let's see what it's like to put one of these bad boys up on the roof. And in you go, buddy. God, why is that so difficult? Okay. I am strong like bull. Just gotta give myself a little motivation. The ceiling is making me pretty excited because now I'm envisioning what the cedar plank ceiling is gonna look like. If you haven't seen the video where I talk about all the different things I'm gonna do to the van, you should really go check it out. It was the second video, episode 2 is part of the series of building the van, sometime around June 20th. That's nice! Morning. Today's the day we are drilling more holes in the van. I forgot to drill a 1/2-inch hole into the beams up top so I can have some cabinet support. I'm going to be using an M8 Rivet Nut. Got the vacuum on standby ready to go. Before we get started, this is what I'm using. I'm using a step down drill bit, and I'm going to drill to the 1/2-inch marcation. Do not get your drill bits at Lowe's or Home Depot. They're priced up by a lot. Safety goggles on. Here we go. Here we go, honey. Number 17. One moment. We're nowhere near needing this for the vacuum. If you have an assistant, this will totally work better. It's got a little play in it, but it will stay. I do want to seal these holes with some paint, so I'm going to go through and drill all the M8 holes that I need, and then spray paint them, and then get all these bad boys in there. Seems like I wanted to get this all done this morning, but it's going to take all day. I keep pausing because the metal is getting hot, and when the metal jumps, it burns me. What the heck? Okay. Well, good news is this door is not opening anymore. If I take off my front wheel of my bike, 27 inches is where I can hang out. I want my Ikea bed frame to sit right about here. And I want my bed to be 6 inches, which will leave me...
Go up in the ceiling?
Let's do 77 1/4. A 1x6. Rivet nuts lined up in the right place, which means I'm going to use the Play-Doh hack. I'm just going to do this one shot, 1/4 size, squish her down, 1/4 size, squish her down. My goal is to reuse this Play-Doh the entire project, so I'm not going to actually drill through this. I'm just going to make a little itty bitty mark. Push it in. Oh, fuck, it slipped. So the trick is to use a little bit dried up Play-Doh. You can't use mushy Play-Doh, like brand new Play-Doh, because then it just sticks to everything. And when you're trying to line it up, it just gets ripped. And I think we're looking pretty good. This is a little win. This was stressing me out for a second. That one looks like it's a little askewed. So does this one, but... Okay. Okay, let's tighten this down. See what happens. My brain's going a million miles a minute. Okay, so this is the issue that I'm running into. This side is a 1/4 inch lower than this side. And I think what the best course of action is to not drill a hole that is a 1/4 inch above, and to... I think the best course of action is to potentially take it off, fix the issue, replicate it, put it on the right side of the vehicle. But in addition to that, is I know that there is another 2 hex screws here that I can manipulate. Also, this does feel a little bit more sturdy now. Like that, and this can be the bed frame. Yeah. Just use a normal 1x3 and have that be inset and ride that out. Now, girl, I'm not exactly sure how this happened, but my rivet nut started spinning and spinning and I couldn't get it locked down. So this was the result. I just took a vice grip and the same crescent wrench I've been using this whole time to get it off. This hole just simply wasn't big enough to get the leverage right. So that's why I had to blow out the hole. I think my plan is to still utilize this hole, but I'm gonna get 2 big fat washers and a nut to go on the reverse side. I do not want to drill another hole here, and then I'll also put a couple of self-tapping screws on the side. So I did 2 ace runs. I put 4 total washers on the back with a nut. Let me see if I can get you in here. It's not the most perfect thing, but we've locked down. I've also got a washer sitting here in between the wood, so that way that warped wood metal doesn't start cutting the wood. And then we've locked in. Just a stupendous cut. Look at that. You can see there's this lip here that goes out at an angle. So I set mine, there you go, probably a better view. I set mine just underneath that. And this was 5/8. Well, the rivets were 5/8 from the line. So it's sitting pretty flush. Couldn't be more proud. Done. Like a glove. You couldn't go past this because then this would be lifted and there would be space here. It was about 1/8 of an inch difference, so I decided to only come to right about the edge. And then same thing for this. If I would have been flush to this area and this area, this would have not sat flush in this cavity. I don't know how that happened, but I am missing 2 inches off of this. It's getting to the point in the day where I've been working so long and that it's hot that my brain's starting to melt. This one looks great. I mean, it's coming along. I have to figure out how to remove that light, and then I also need to install that one and this side here. But I don't know how I'm missing 2 inches off of that. That's not too shabby, eh? I knew that I wasn't going to be able to get all the way over in this corner, and I didn't want to cut anything off the bed. So if I would have put the bracket here, I would have had no clearance in this area for the bed to sit comfortably. Now that I've seen this in, I know where I can officially put my 1x3s. That was another big reason I hadn't put my vertical stripping in, is because I needed to get this in and see what this looked like first. I just fit it in there. For a second I thought it wasn't gonna fit here. That made me a little paranoid, but with a little bit of love, it's snugged right in. And what I'm hoping is, let's see, is I can inset some 1x3s that go all the way up, and we'll lock it in place. Get the fuck out of here, bro. This is fucking lit. Funny enough, the manual explains everything really well. And pre-drilled, and now I'm gonna screw them. That decompression on my spine, that's nice.
And just like that, the bed frame inset, and all my horizontal beams are complete. Join me next week as I finish out the remainder of my insulation and vertical furring strips.